This is TWiT.
When I looked in this book of news, 27 pages, the thing I thought was kind of the unsung hero announcement or most interesting announcement was this idea that Microsoft is creating a unified search experience across Windows, Office, Edge, Bing, and more properties that they have in the future. So the reason I think this is interesting is right now, if you try to search in various Microsoft products, it works really differently if you're in like SharePoint versus Windows versus Edge. So their thought is to put the search box in one consistent place and make it behave in a consistent way across all of these things.
Right.
It seems weird that we say this is like some revolutionary thing, but it is kind of a revolutionary thing.
I had gone back and watched some old videos from the, I guess it would be the early to mid 2000s when Microsoft was talking about unified search in Longhorn. Apple was talking about whatever the search, I think it was Sherlock search or whatever it was called at the time in Mac OS X Tiger or whatever. And it's weird, you know, here we are so many years later, we're still having this conversation. But of course, the products we're talking about span kind of a weird gamut of desktop apps, mobile apps, websites or web apps, online services. And you know, when you think about the integration that Microsoft's doing across Microsoft 365, right, where they're combining previously separate products, this type of thing starts to make a lot more sense.
Right, and the part that's probably the most intriguing to a lot of listeners is Windows, right? Because we've seen some leaks about Windows 10 that showed Cortana being decoupled from search and Microsoft kind of rethinking how search will work in Windows. So now we know this is going to happen, and they've said it's coming to Windows in 2019. They didn't share exactly what that looks like or what that experience will be, but it kind of tips their hand a little bit on the next version of Windows.
Yeah, I would say so. I think the implication for Cortana is potentially very big,
Yeah. I mean, I asked if does this mean anything about Cortana not working with Windows, and they said no. Cortana still could use Microsoft Search as a resource in her interactions. I still say her, but yeah, with you, depending on the query. So they're not like saying Cortana goes away because they're doing Microsoft Search, but I actually think it would be good to decouple this experience. And the thought is, you'll get two kinds of search. You'll get intranet search. So if you're searching for information inside your company, like about human resource policies, or where is this document, or how do I do this particular thing on my machine, those search results will come up for that, but they also are going to continue to serve up web search results and keep those two things separate.
And also have insight or entry into the Microsoft Graph, right?
Right.
So for organizations that are kind of all in on Microsoft, where you have this stuff across various products, you're going to be able to surface graph-based search results, you know, in Windows that have to do with some back-end service.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I think arguably this is the biggest news from the show.